While operating in the day-to-day world, the heart gets contaminated every now and then.
Okay. So basically what you're saying, you understand the spiritual teachings. Okay. And when you interact in the office, the home, in day-to-day world, the mind gets polluted, mind gets contaminated.
Yeah. For me, the pain direct happens in the heart.
So I start getting a sort of sensation or pain in the heart. So this is nothing special. Okay. How many times you take a bath every day? You take a bath every day once. Right? What happens if you don't take bath every day? The body will stink. How many times you wash your teeth every day? At least once or twice. Otherwise, the teeth will start rotting. Right?
Brushing also it rots.
Okay. After brushing also it rots. But you have to brush your teeth once a day. Or at least once a day. Take a bath every day. Right? For body, we do the cleaning of shaucha every day. We need to do something for the mind also now. Because when you interact with the world, there's a pollution happens. Why do you take a bath? When you go outside, there's a dust, there's a sunlight, sweating. So that's why you have to take a bath. A cleaning up is required every day. Without that cleaning up, the body gets polluted, right? It starts stinking. Same way, if you don't brush your teeth one day, the teeth will start smelling. If you don't brush your teeth 2 days, everybody knows that you are not brushing your teeth. So you start smelling. Right? This is just applies to body. If it applies to the body, what happens to mind? Mind, the moment we start interacting with the world, the slowly pollution will happen every day. So we have to clean up that. So the cleaning up process of mind is very important every day. That's why in early days, people gave us some samskara. Samskara means practices. Okay. Daily or true. So what they did, they said, daily morning you get up, take a bath, do some puja of God, or do sandhya vandana. Right? So first is physical purification, then second thing is mental purification. Every day. This is called samskara, good samskara. Sandhya vandana, or doing puja, keeping flower in the God's room, lighting lamp, just to make sure that after physical cleanup, mental cleanup every day. What is more important is what we call as being alone. It's called ekanta. Sitting alone. So there was a master called Gudrip, a Russian master. He had a student called Opensky. So what Russian Gudrip and Opensky is Ramakrishna Paramahamsa to Vivekananda. Opensky is like Vivekananda. So Opensky's teachings, the Gudrip's teachings, Opensky took to worldwide. So first time Opensky comes and asks Gudrip, give me some teaching. The master says, I can give you teaching, but 3 months you should not meet anybody. 3 months you should be in isolation. Be away from the society for 3 months. So he goes and stays in 3 months away. After that, he comes back to master. I've stayed 3 months away. Then master says, okay, let us go and go around the city. So when he goes around the city, the Opensky feels everybody seems to be sleepwalking. Everybody seems to be a sort of in daze. What happened to these people? They're all sleepwalking. The master says, you were also like that earlier. 3 months of isolation has reduced what you call as unconsciousness. Now you become more aware. You are able to see other people are sleeping. When you are also sleeping, you can't recognize other people are sleeping. Sleepwalking. Sleepwalking means people are in their subconscious identities. So being away from the society for some time is called ekanta. Dhyana you call, as meditation you call, vipassana you call. They're all healing. They heal. Of course, we cannot stay away from society all the time. Once in a while, do for a longer time. Then every day, sit some time with yourself. Myself, my Atma, do I give time? Do I give time for my own self? We always want to spend time with the others, some others, friends, relatives, office work. If others are not there, we are uncomfortable. We are addicted to others. Why? Why we are addicted to others? Because when we interact with others, we are playing a role. Husband and wife, mother and child, a friend, or an employee. These roles give us an identity. We feel more comfortable with the identity, secure with the identity. Identity gives us security. When there's no identity, we get insecure because we don't know what is not being without identity. Not being without identity is Atma. The insecurity holds us when people are not there. That's why we are very much afraid of loneliness. We always look for company. Without company, we are restless. I wanted to leave my job at the age of 54. My friends were very surprised. What will you do? How can you sit at home? For people, not having a job is very uncomfortable. Not because they want money. They feel restless. Because the job gives them an identity, a mask. You are more comfortable with the mask than yourself because you don't know yourself. Are you comfortable with your real self? Are you comfortable with yourself? If you're comfortable with yourself, being in the society or not being in the society doesn't make a difference. You want to make friends? You want to have relatives? Have you made friendship with yourself? How can you make your friendship with yourself? Just be alone. Sit silently. So actually for my colleagues and my friends, retirement is very tension. After retirement, what did I do? So uncomfortable. In America, when I went, I saw boards in the offices. Retirement counseling. So people get in depression when they get retired. Right? The politicians, even at the age of 90, they don't want to leave their seat. Because when they're sitting in the chair, power, people come them, give them respect, they'll give identity. They feel good about it. We want a company. We are afraid of loneliness because we are addicted to that identity. The identity called so-called employee, so-called boss, so-called husband, so-called wife. So that's why the moment we don't have a job, we start looking for something else. The mind becomes restless. The idle mind is devil's workshop. The mind becomes devil's workshop. Then what will happen? You don't have anything outside. Internally, you start thinking of past, future, and mind will be completely full of junk. Are you comfortable being alone? When you are alone, you are all one. A alone word is all one. When you are alone, in reality, you are in one with all. Alone means all. One is alone. All. A-L-L, all. One. Means you are one with the totality. When you are with yourself, Atma, you are with all one. You are alone. You are one with all. You are one with the totality. Because as you meditate, go deep inside, you realize all in one. All in one means yourself. The totality is in yourself, Atma. Brahman, that's called Brahman. All one. So that all oneness to discover, you are holding on to, you don't discover because you are holding on to something small things outside. If you go inside only, you can discover all one, no? All one, that's one, all one is alone. All one, that's all one is Brahman, totality. Deep inside, you are all one. You don't need anybody. Because you are not allowing go inside, you are not finding your own self. You are craving for somebody. Because you don't have self. You don't have identity. You want some identity to hold on. Otherwise, you feel empty. You know, when friend comes to your house and leaves, there will be emptiness felt here. The tears will be there. You feel emptiness here. Because deep inside you feel empty. Deep inside you feel you are nothing, nobody. You always want to feel somebody. That's why you want to have relationships. One relationship after another relationship. We can't have a give a gap. We want somebody in our life. We are afraid to be lonely. So loneliness and aloneness are totally different. Lonely is when you have identity. That identity gets strengthened by the presence of somebody. And that identity, when you play out the identity, whether it's a friend role or employee role, you feel more comfortable because you have something to solid to hold on. And this, when you play the role, you forget yourself. Yourself, anyway, you don't know. Your real self, you don't know. You forget yourself. When you forget self, you become the role. You start becoming the role. And when you become the role, a lot of impressions will get deposited there. So you feel more comfortable with the friend because friend role is very comfortable. So when you play with the friend role, the friend didn't talk to me, or friend talked to me, or friend is angry with me. All these impressions start getting accumulated. Are you able to get rid of these impressions? You have to learn how to be all one, alone. All one, A-L-L-O-N-E, A-L, all capital, A-L-L, all, O-N-E, capital. All one means one with that Brahman, one with your own self, which is the totality. If you are one with the totality, where is the fear? Where is the anxiety to become hold on to something small? When you are one with the infinite, that's called aloneness. That's called, in Sanskrit, it's called ekanta. Ekanta is not a place. Ekanta is inside. Aloneness is inside, not about outside. Being with your own self. Is it possible? Possible. So daily, just like you give some time for brushing your teeth, taking bath, give some time for yourself. So what will happen if you give time to yourself? You sit. No friend, no relative, nobody. You sit. Then what will happen? Lot of mental noise will come up. The programs will come up. This thought, that thought, what happened to my friend? Why my friend is not calling me? Why I have to I should go to office? The idle mind is devil's workshop. Devil's workshop starts coming up. To forget that idle mind, we are actually want to engage with something else. Are you comfortable with yourself? So when you sit by yourself, a mental noise will start coming up. And these are programs. Your programs, when you are in any relationship, the programming happens, mutual programming. In any relationship, husband, wife, friend and relative, mother and daughter, you are programming mutually, each of you, that behave in certain way, expect certain things. Those programs will come up. There's the noise. So that's called idle mind is devil's workshop. Empty mind is God's workshop. So the mind has to become empty. How do you make the mind empty? Do nothing. Let these thoughts come. Don't react. Don't act on that. So the mind will keep on throwing out. After some time, it will become silent. Give the time to become silent, not chasing the thoughts. This is like, I've heard addiction to alcohol. So people drink alcohol, right? Alcohol, smoking, or coffee. When they drink a cup of coffee or smoke, drink alcohol or smoke, the body gets adjusted to that. The mind gets adjusted to that. If you don't drink alcohol or coffee one day, there'll be a lot of agitation which will come up. Similarly, we are addicted to relationships. We are addicted to external things. It's same as any alcohol, same as coffee. We get restless when our identity is not able to express itself. Sit by yourself. Silently, thoughts will come. Just be aware of your breath or body. Let thoughts come and go. They'll empty themselves. The programs will come out. A de-addiction has to happen. Have you heard alcoholic de-addiction camp? A person is drinking alcohol. He is not able to leave the alcohol. The moment he sees alcohol bottle, he has to put it into mouth. Then what they do? They will take him to a de-addiction camp. 1 month, they'll shut him down. He'll feel restless, starts crying. After some time, he'll calm down. At least it'll take 1 month for him to get de-addicted. It takes time for you to get de-addicted for all relationships. This is exactly an addiction. Find some time. If you are good, if you have the ability, go for a meditation session, silent meditation session for 1 month, 15 days, a week. Vipassana. Somewhere you go. No phone call, no TV, no friends, no relatives. Lot of noise will come out. The mind will fight because it wants to hold on to some identity. Gradually, the mind settles down. It starts feeling peaceful. Then you are comfortable with yourself alone, all one. Because when you are yourself, you are one with the whole totality. Then you don't feel restlessness. Then don't feel craving for small things. It's important for us, all of us, to be away from the society, all relations, for a period of time, so that de-addiction happens. That we call meditation, vipassana, silent meditation, whatever is it. After that, you come back to society. Again, when you interact, now you are less addicted. Daily you spend some time, 15 minutes, half an hour, to clean up, just like you do wash your teeth, take bath. Nothing will accumulate inside. You feel deep peace within. So we want to have friends. But have we made friends with our own self, our own Atma, which is nobody, nothing? Because we feel we are somebody, we want an identity, we want to interact with somebody, we are restless. And our life depends on our relationships. I've seen people when some partner dies, or friend or a friend dies, people go into depression because our identity is dependent on other person. Your life is in the hands of others. When are you coming back to your own self? Be really friendly with your own self. It's called aloneness. That aloneness is the alone peace, a supreme peace, parashanti. That's called Atma, the self-realization. Any questions? Daily in your office work also, when you're working in the office also, just like you give a coffee break or a WhatsApp break, just like give a break to pause your mind, go back to yourself. Who am I? Come back. Learn to go back to yourself as often as possible. Become free from this addiction. The sign of addiction is the loneliness is frightening. Sign of freedom is loneliness, being with people or not being with people doesn't make a difference in your life. Then your comfort is alone because you are one with all. So it doesn't mean that you'll run away from society. You will be in the society. But you are not addicted to relationships. You play your role beautifully.
ನಾನು ಹಾಗೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡೆ. ನಾನು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ